Today you see two wrap skirts, one shorter, one longer. They have something special at the back, little godets. I'm going to show you all about that. Super easy sew, very versatile. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and we have some bottoms today. I was checking out how many bottoms I've made this year and it hasn't been many, so I'm catching up. I've got two wrap skirts to share with you. These are brand new pattern from GreenStyle. It's called Tidal, and it's a really cute wrap skirt that can be very, very short or less short. A little bit leggy. This could be perfect for a swim cover up or just like a regular skirt. It just depends on the type of fabric that you use and the length that you use. So we know it's a wrap skirt. It's got A-line shape, a curved waistband. You can sew pockets on the side. They're not inseam pockets, they're like slanted pockets, like the ones you would see on pants. So those are there in the pattern if you want to do those. I am of course not doing pockets on mine because I don't like pockets on skirts. The back part is made out of many pieces and there are two godet inserts, which I think is really cute. I think the longer the skirt, the more you would see them, and if you have a print, you'll see them less. But it does give the skirt a beautiful shape at the back with a bit more volume and slightly curved as well. So that is something nice and different that I really enjoyed sewing. Three lengths here, 14, 16, 18 inches. 14 is very, very short. One of mine is at the 18 inches, which is slightly shorter than my usual skirts. I didn't end up adjusting for length for this specific one because it was just supposed to be a test garment. I wasn't too much of a fan of the fabric, but then I ended up loving the fabric. It sort of grew on me. So you'll see a shorter skirt from me at 18 inches. But the second one I made, I did make it a little bit longer. It's very easy to adjust. Because the Tidal skirt is a brand new pattern at GreenStyle, it's going to be 27% off through next Thursday, the 8th of May. You don't need to type in a code or anything, super easy at checkout. Now, 2 days ago, I posted another pattern release from GreenStyle. You see that one, which is a rash guard or a swim top paired with my Tidal. Those are on sale as well. If you missed out, check out that video. It's really fun. I made them out of scraps. Those are on sale through the 6th. So there's lots of patterns going on at GreenStyle that are new. For fabric, you need woven fabric for this one. You can also use a stretch woven if you'd like. It just depends on what you want this to be. You could use board short fabric, which is something I've never actually sewn with. I don't even know where they sell that here. Or you could use regular woven fabric like linen, chambray, even denim. I've used linen rayon blend for both of mine because it's a fabric I have on hand a lot and I wanted to use. Really versatile for me as well. And I think it's okay to use linen as a swim cover up also, so why not? You need some interfacing for the outer waistband. The inner waistband layer is not interfaced, and the skirt is officially designed to be closed up with strips of velcro that you sew inside the waistband. Really easy to put on and off, but I don't have that type of notion. I couldn't find that here to buy readily, so I just closed mine up with buttons. You could also use snaps, you could use hook and eyes, that sort of thing. So however you close it is up to you, but the pattern shows you how to sew on the velcro. For sizing, it goes from A1 to F3, and there's a new size chart at GreenStyle that has been coming up in the latest patterns. There's a lot of sizes on the table. If you can see here, it goes in increments by 1 inch. So it's really easy to plot your size pretty specifically. You won't be in between sizes. Now, my waist is an F1, my hip is an F2. I decided to just sew as F2 because my waist varies with the day of the month and all of that. It's quite variable. And also wrap styles are quite adjustable as well. So I just decided to sew a straight size F2 just to be more comfortable at the waist. Now, I mentioned that the longest version here is pretty short for me, at least for what I'm comfortable with for everyday wear, although I will wear this mini skirt for very casual settings. But I would like to wear my second one for more things. So mine is 4 inches longer. I did lengthen these at the bottom of the hem, so I kept the angles the same in the way they were going, the A-line shape and even the godets. I'll show you that quickly, how my pattern pieces look after adding those 4 inches. I didn't cut the pattern pieces and spread them apart. I just added that extra length at the hem to be able to keep the same shape. That is all the adjustment I made. It's not a fitting adjustment, it's just a length adjustment because I wanted mine a little bit longer. I think a lot of people might want their skirts a little bit longer. Anyway, it's a personal preference. You know, everyone's comfortable at different lengths of skirts. And even though the shorter one that I have at 18 inches is okay, I'm going to wear it. I wouldn't go to church with that. I'm going to show you a lot of the sewing here, focusing on the godets and the curved waistbands. The 3/8 seam allowance is what we use, and it's a very nice, easy, relaxing sew. You'll see. These are the pattern pieces for the Tidal skirt from GreenStyle. It's a wrap skirt. This is the front piece. It's a lot wider and bigger because it's going to wrap over the front. This is a section that's going to be folded back and top stitched. So this is where the skirt is finished, and this is the side seam. I have interfaced 3 centimeters or 1¼ inches here, which is the total amount that you would fold in. I did that to make it more stable, more structured. I'm using linen right here. You can see the waistline is curved. Now these 3 pieces make up the back. This is the side back. This is the side over here. That is the back on the fold. And then in between the side back and the center back, there is a godet. So up to here, the seam will be sewn there, but from a little dot that's here and there, that's where you sew the godet. And that's going to be added there for extra volume. I think it's a really cute feature. Because I'm working with a solid and I'm going to top stitch it, you will see it. Curved waistband, here are the 2 back pieces. One is interfaced, one isn't. And over here I have 4 waistbands for the front, 2 for the outer waistband, 2 for the inner waistband. I have 2 of them interfaced and 2 of them are not interfaced. I'm going to show you general construction, focusing on sewing the godet and the waistband. As I've mentioned when I showed you the pattern pieces, the waistline is curved. This is not a rectangle. And there's going to be a curved waistband sewn onto here. Linen is known for stretching out because the weave is not so firm, not so tight. So I'm going to do some stay stitching on the waist. Just under the 3/8 seam allowance I'm going to use later with a straight stitch. And I'm going to do this for all the pieces that have contact. I'm going to be serging all the edges first because it's easier to do now, all of them, minus the waistlines, of course. But even the bottom where the hem's going to be, I'm going to serge for the front pieces, the back pieces, even the godet. Easy to do it now. It'll make everything so much easier later, especially putting the godets in. If the edges are serged, it's just going to be so much easier. So a lot of mindless serging, trying not to trim too much away with this blade, being careful there. This is how one of the godets look. There's 2 of these. Now I'm going to serge even the top edge here because if it's not done now, it's going to be left raw later. There's no way to do it after you've sewn the godet. See, the godet is totally serged, even the bottom. I'll repeat that with the other one and with all the other pieces. I'm going to assemble the back first. Remember, I've just serged every single thing. So all of this, all the edges of the godets, everything. So that's the center back. This is the side back. All of these have little marks and they match the ones of the godet. So what I'm going to do to make it easier, I'm going to move the side pieces away and just work on this first. So this is the center back. I'm going to sew this side of the godet to that one and this side of the godet to that one. So as I'm on the table here, I'm just going to put pins. It's just so much easier to do it like this because you have so much, the visibility is so much better. And with that pinned, I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. Okay, so I have my godet right sides together with the center back. You can see that little yellow mark there matches the yellow mark on the other side. And I'm going to start sewing right there. And I'm going to reinforce. It's actually right in the middle of the godet piece. Reinforce and then sew all the way down to the bottom. 3/8 seam allowance. And I have the same thing on this other side. Matching up the marks from here to the ones on the other side. And sewing all the way down. And then these parts of the godet are going to be finished. Then we have to sew them on to the other pieces. I'm going to put my needle down, reinforce. And then keep going straight down. So that's sewn. This is like that, still dangling. And now I'm going to repeat the same thing for this side, same seam. Okay, here is the center back piece with half of the godets already sewn, just these seams right here. And now we bring back the side back pieces right here. There's a mark that matches there. So that's what we're going to sew next, both sides. Again, I'm going to put a pin just to make it easier. And I'm going to be sewing this in 2 stages. First sewing the godet down and then completing the seam up like that. Okay, here are one of the sides. I have pinned the other side of the godet to the back piece right here, matching it up right here with the line that's on the other side. Now I can see exactly where my stitch started last time I sewed this other side of the godet, and I'm going to sew there. So it's going to be like a little triangle. So I'm going to put my needle right in that same area and reinforce. Okay, so the godet is sewn. You can see the little triangle that I've sewn right here, right there, right there. I still need to sew the top part of the seam. So I'm going to pin it from here. I'm going to push this little bit away, align these together, start sewing from exactly where that seam is, right there. So what we end up is with an intersection of seams right here. This is going to be loose, but once we open it up, it's going to be super neat. Look, this is the top part. The seam is going to be pressed open like that. And as you go down, it's all going to be pressed open. And we're going to have this insert right there. Super nice. On the right side, it looks like this. That's where all those intersecting seams were. And we go down. Of course, it's going to look better once pressed. But yeah, that's essentially how. I'm going to repeat the same on this other side. And then the back is going to be done. Here I'm pressing one of the godets from the wrong side. Very, very neat. Lots of steam. Make it nice and flat. Of course, linen is gorgeous to press. Now I've turned it to the right side and that's how it looks. Seam pressed open here. It's open there. Very nice. I'm going to use a presser foot for edge stitching and I'm going to sew right there, pivot, and right there just to highlight the godets there. I think on the solid you'll be able to see them. Okay, the back is finally done. The godets are in. The top stitching's done very neatly. Love how it turned out. And now I've got it wrong sides up. I've got my both front pieces wrong sides up. And now this is what comes next, the side seams. Right there and the one on the other side. I'm going to sew that off camera. My edges are serged. All I have to do is sew it and press it open. And then we'll be back to sort out the waistband. I've done a few steps to prep for the finishings of this skirt before doing the waistband. I'm not concerned because I did all that stay stitching there, so I know that's secure. So that's okay. Now this is the centers and this is where I interface this area. Now in the instructions it says to fold in by 1/4 inch on the edge and then fold in by 1 inch. That in total is 1 1/4 inches or 3 centimeters, but I decided to just leave it in a single fold just because it's less bulky and I have matching purple thread for my serger, so I think that looks nice. So I'm not folding it twice, I'm folding it only once. I was careful with this, with my seam gauge, to measure very, very accurately there before hand basting and pressing it flat. So that's done. I've also been to the iron and measured and pressed up my hem allowance. I'm just doing 3/4 inch here. I folded the hem first and then I folded this in. So that's how it looks right there. And I've gone all the way, slightly curved at the back with the godets, but it's nice. So a lot of straight stitching now that I'm going to do off camera. That's boring to see. I'm really confident this is not going to end up twisting because I've done the hand basting and the pressing. It's all very nice. After finishing that, all that's left to do is the waistband. Here are the waistband pieces. They're curved. They each have 3 pieces. This is the outer layer. That is the inner layer. It's very easy to put together. The backs are just one piece, as you can see there. And you see little lines, little marks on the edges. That is what you match up to the lines on the front waistband. So it's not like you're going to get confused and put them the wrong way because these lines are going to show you. This other extreme of the front doesn't have any line, and that's going to be in the center of the skirt there. So it's the same. Now all we need to do is sew little seams here, uniting them, and then we're going to have completed waistbands. Outer layer that's interfaced, the inner layer that's not interfaced. Now I'm going to sew the waistband in the reverse, which means I'm going to sew the inner waistband to the skirt first. And then I'm going to end up top stitching this one. So after sewing all of these and having them prepped, I'm going to do a guide stitch, 3/8, and fold this up all the way. Easier to do before you sew it onto the waistline. Here I'm sewing the little seams that unite the waistband pieces. Each waistband is made out of 3 pieces. So we're doing 4 little seams, 3/8 seam allowance. After uniting the waistband, what I'm going to do is the guide stitch on the lower edge so that I can fold this up by 3/8 nicely and not be guessing. It's easy to guide yourself with a metal plate underneath, lengthen that stitch length so this stitch can come off later. Okay, I've assembled the waistband, sewn the little seams, pressed them open. With the outer waistband, I have already pressed this edge up by 3/8, hit the guide stitch, removed it, it's all ready to go. And now I'm going to sew this top edge right here. I'm sewing with the interface layer on the top because it's the most stable area, and underneath I have the non-interface layer. After doing that, of course, I'm going to snip. This is completely curved, so you do need a few snips everywhere along this waistline. This is another presser foot. This has an L on it. It's also a type of blind hem presser foot, but different. When you move this, it moves this edge in or out, so you can actually get whatever seam allowance you want, and it's really helpful. I've set it here to about 1/8 of an inch. And of course, we're going to understitch. For understitching, I'm going to extend this waistband, tuck the seam allowance underneath the non-interfaced layer, and sew on the edge. I've got a helpful presser foot that helps you do that really neatly, but I'm going to leave the edges free for about 5/8 to be able to finish the waistbands there without the understitching. That can get in the way. Here I have the skirt on the table. The skirt is wrong sides up. You can see all the seams or the godets. And so the right side of this inner waistband goes along the wrong side of the skirt. So right side to wrong side. I know it looks really wrong. That's why this method is reversed. It's going to end up much easier in the end because after that seam is sewn, then we're going to take all of our waistband and fold it towards the right side of the skirt and top stitch. So that final top stitch is going to be super neat. We're going to see what we're doing. We don't need to worry about catching anything on the back because it's already been sewn. So it's just one long seam all across, 3/8 seam allowance, and then I'll be back to sort out the last part of the waistband. Remember, if you want to follow it like I'm doing it, right side of the inner waistband, non-interface waistband to the wrong side of the skirt. So we're all the inside of the skirt here. One thing that's important to mention is that this waistband is hanging off by 3/8. So this is where the center of the skirt was, where it's pressed in and top stitched. So we want that waistband to hang off by 3/8 of an inch like that, so we can close it up at the very end like that. After sewing the seam, I'm also going to do a few snips on the top because it's curved all along. Then after finishing the snips, I'm going to head over to the iron and press the seam up towards the waistband. Now this is right side of the skirt. When we bring this over, we're going to be on the right side of the skirt right there. So that's the whole point. So I'm going to snip, press up, and then we're going to finish this little end. Everything's pressed nice and neat. So now I've just brought the waistband together, right sides together here on the ends, kept the folds the same. And now we're going to sew right here, 3/8 seam allowance, finishing right there against that edge right there. This is why I wanted understitching a little bit away from here so it's not caught in that area. So I'm going to fold the seam allowance towards the inner waistband. Hold all that seam allowance and flip. We get a nice little point there. And then this is the right side of the skirt. We tuck it all away and then we meet the fold with the seam there. I'm going to hand baste it down and then one whole stitch all the way across, and that finishes the waistband. Then it's about putting the buttonholes on each end. This is the first version that I made, and this is a fabric I bought online, and when I saw the print online on the photo, it definitely did not have this aqua color background. What I saw on the screen was a different color. It was more of a beige. So when I got this in the mail years ago, I thought, oh my gosh, I dislike this fabric so much. I just did not like that aqua, although I love the tropical print with the brown and everything. I just didn't like that color. So I threw this in a pile of fabric that I have for making test garments because I knew I wasn't going to make a garment out of it. So I pulled this out to make the skirt. I made the 18-inch skirt, which is the longest version here. And then when I sewed it up and tried it on, I thought this is not that bad. I could I could make this work. So I actually ended up making it as a wearable garment, and it grew on me. The fabric grew on me, although it's not amazing to show you the godets here on the back because the print, you can barely see them. I did top stitch them. Maybe you can see the little triangle right there. The shape is definitely there. It's just that you can't really see them because of the print. But with my second one, which is purple, you saw in the tutorial, you will be able to see it. So with this one, because it wasn't a lot of fabric and I didn't have enough to cut the inner waistband, I cut my inner waistband out of a quilting cotton with this houndstooth print. I think it looks cute on the inside and no one's ever gonna know. So that's what is happening right there. Now on this part, that's the external one, I did add a piece of the regular fabric this, just in case, you know, this moved a little bit. I didn't want that right there. But it was very easy, the same process you saw me sew. There are the godets on the inside, my hem, all of that, you know. This is all open. It's a complete real wrap skirt. It's just a little bit shorter. And because I don't have any swimwear to match right here, I'm not styling it that way, just with regular clothing that I have. These wooden buttons to use, quite nice and chunky, very nice. I've got the same button on the inside. And I just put the skirt on, adjusted it to where it was comfortable, and then, you know, sewed my buttons on. Easy peasy. But if you have the Velcro, you're welcome to try that. I've never actually used the Velcro for garment sewing ever in my whole life. I can't find it, so who knows when I'll be able to try that out. I don't think the aqua suits me around my face, but that's okay because that's a skirt. This is my first Tidal skirt from GreenStyle. It's a wrap skirt. This was my test garment that actually turned out super wearable, and the print grew on me. At first I didn't really like it that much, but it's really cute. I've made the longest version. You can see it's quite a nice mini-ish skirt for me, at least for my height. It would be the shortest. I'd be happy to wear a skirt. It's really nice. The fabric has a tropical print with an aqua background, which is a color that doesn't really suit me, but because it's on my bottom half, it's fine. I've paired everything with brown. There are godets on the back that with the print you can't see, but they are there. Super fun sew, gives it a little more volume at the back. And I used the contrast cotton for the inner waistband that I think turned out super cute. I've closed my wrap skirt with buttons, but you can use Velcro or snaps or other methods. But I always just enjoy doing the buttons. I think it's the easier way to adjust and it's a safe way to wear the skirt without it falling off. So it's perfect. I've got a simple ready to wear brown cami tucked in so you can see the details of the skirt. And now I'm just going to put a topper. Whenever in doubt what jacket to wear, just grab a denim jacket. It's always going to go with everything and it's going to always go with every color. I think this goes especially well because of the aqua color on the skirt. It goes perfectly with the blue tone of the denim and the brown. I've kept everything the same, just threw the jacket on and I think it's really cute. I love this skirt. But you'll see that the second one I make is going to be about 4 inches longer, just so that it's more versatile for me to wear everywhere I go, because this one at this length would have to be in a very, very, very casual setting. So absolutely love it. You know, it's a little bit short, although still very wearable. I'm only pairing brown with the skirt right now, and I found this linen refashioned top that I made years ago. I added a dot to it. It's 100% linen and it's really nice. It's at the high hip. It's got lots of dots and shaping, so I don't feel I need to tuck it in, and I think it looks really cute with the skirt. I've got a bag there in the same color just to bring it all together. A tropical print, not in the typical louder colors that I tend to wear. I'm glad I made it, even though it was only meant to be a test garment. It turned out so wearable and the fabric definitely grew on me. Really love how it turned out. Look for my mini Tidal with sneakers, navy and a navy top. I think because the background of the skirt is aqua, I could get away with pairing it with navy, even though there's no navy in the print. I think it goes together really well. And this is cute, this is comfortable, this is super nice. This is the shortest skirt I would use, and I think it goes perfectly with this top that's a little shorter on the front, a little longer on the back, a little bit of a slit going on there. So yeah, I'm glad I came up with this other outfit, because initially when I made the skirt, I wasn't sure how many ways I could wear it, but I'm thinking up many ways right now as well. Love this skirt. This is the second one that you saw in the tutorial, linen fabric mixed with rayon, 55% linen, 45% rayon. Beautiful purple color. And yeah, this is gorgeous. The curved waistband right there. Here is a purple button that I found in my stash. And it's a very simple skirt, it's very nice. But here, because it's a solid, you can really see the godets. I've top stitched them. There is a little insert right there. And same as on this side. I think keeping the hem allowance smallish by 3/4 of an inch is easier for you to deal with the curve that happens with the godets at the bottom. That's why I don't do a hefty, chunky hem allowance there. This was very easy. I'm very happy with the inside finishes. I had purple serger thread. It's all very neat. It actually matches this top I'm wearing right now. I chose the purple color because I was sewing the rash guards at the same time, and I knew both of those rash guards would match this. I could style this as a swim cover up as well, and also with other regular tops, so that this could be for whatever I want it to be. Super versatile, love the color. Let's see it on. This is my second Tidal skirt from GreenStyle. Gorgeous wrap skirt in a purple linen. Amazing. This one is 4 inches longer than the first one that you saw. When I get up closer, you'll see the godets. The wrap is pretty substantial on the front. It's pretty safe. I've got it paired with a Bali top also from GreenStyle, which is amazing. It's a really nice top with ruching in the center. I think it pairs perfectly. I have all purple serger thread. It's all nice. And at the back, you can see the godet inserts. Makes the hem a little more curved on the back. I think it looks really pretty. Here is a closer look at the skirt. There's a curved waistband. I chose to close mine with buttons, both of them. But you can also do Velcros or snaps or a whole bunch of things. But I just kept it simple. And look how much this crosses over. It's a lot. If a gust of wind gets you, you're gonna be okay. It's pretty safe. There are the godets. I top stitched them. I think it's something unique to add to a wrap skirt, and I'm glad the feature is there. Love the top. What can I say? If you haven't got this one, you're missing out because it's so pretty. Here's another sporty look with sneakers, and this top is actually knitted. It's not a fabric. I did not make this. And I really like the combination of the navy and the purple. I think purple can go with a lot of colors. I think pairing it with navy would be something that a lot of people wouldn't do, but I like it and I feel absolutely comfortable here. I would be very happy to wear this out for a long day, but still feel put together. I have already shared my Kona rash guards or swim tops from GreenStyle. I've got one of them tucked into my Tidal skirt, a pair of shorties underneath. It all matches. This is how I would actually swim because I don't wear really traditional swimsuits. And this Tidal wrap skirt would be perfect swim cover up or beach cover up, just perfect. It's actually the reason why I chose the purple skirt, because I knew it would go with these swim tops. Yeah, it's completely open. It's very easy to use. You just wrap it, then wrap it again and do your buttons. Very easy, very fast, and I'm super happy that this skirt can be so versatile for something like this. Here is my other Kona swim top. Beautiful. This one was made out of scraps as well. All swim fabric with UV protection. With this one, I just have black shorties underneath because I didn't have enough to make matching shorties, but that's okay. And of course, lots of colors in here. One of the colors is purple. I think it goes perfectly with the skirt and I'm super happy to have it. Here's a little sneak peek of what's underneath and the little shorties. Very easy to just take off and hop into the water wherever you're gonna be. So yeah, non-traditional swim cover up, I'm loving it. Being linen means I can wear it everywhere, not just as a swim cover up. Here is another swim situation with my Tidal skirt. I've got the same shorties underneath that I wear with the rash guard because they're from the same fabric. But I had also made the cami tank from GreenStyle that matches perfectly. These are cami with a shelf bra with foam cups and great support. And I can wear this to get wet as well. Perfect, all purple, it matches beautifully. There is the outfit underneath the skirt. That is myself at the pool or the beach. And then there it is with the skirt, perfectly. Perfect, perfect. Love choosing purple so it can go with all of these garments for swimming. And here is a non-swim situation to see how versatile the skirt is. This is more of an autumn look with a cami and a really cool sweater, houndstooth print with purple and black, loafers, perfect. This is how I would wear it right now at this time of the year because I'm in full-on autumn and it's cooling down. So you can see the skirt would work for a lot of things. There's a billion other ways I could have styled it, even more formal if I wanted to, but this is amazing. And I'm glad I have this skirt. Super fun to make. Love the color and it's just so versatile. I've always loved the wrap skirt. I really enjoyed these ones. The godets on the back is something unique and really cool. Make it longer if you want to, if you don't want to show your legs that much. I love how versatile they are. I've always loved the wrap skirt. I've sometimes hacked regular skirt patterns into wrap skirts and stuff like that, but not this time. This is how it's supposed to be and I really enjoy them. I think it's a great pattern. Swim cover up, cute as can be, or for church or whatever. A little leggy, but I'm still gonna wear it. I love it. Don't forget to check out the Tidal. It's on sale through Thursday the 8th of May. I will see you again very soon with more sewing on this channel, and I'll give you a hint. You're gonna be seeing a lot of sets, two-piece sets from me in the next couple of videos. It's gonna be fun.